There was a race against time in 2004 to get Sakir ready for its Grand Prix debut. But today, the only race is where it matters, right on track. Welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Colapinto, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, and Norris, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Sainz, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Zayn Maloney, and Stroll, Bortoletto, Albon, Isaac Hadjar, and Liam Lawson, Behrman, Pepe Marti, Aaron, and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Hello and welcome to Bahrain, where after a good qualifying session, Lemonic F1 team is looking to get some more points on the board and widen that gap to Ferrari in the constructors. As we have the 5 red lights, and away we go. Good start, side by side with George Russell. Only two side by side into turn 1. Only 2 drivers to start on the hards in the top 10, I think. Always we have a good wobble outside of turn 2, but we managed to stay in front, get in front of George Russell. We started P3, now we're at P2. Very good, very risky turn number 2, but as we cut the corner there a little bit, we got away without a warning. And we are looking to get into a stable rhythm. Now, this circuit, I decided to start on hards. The softs are here usually the choice to start, but later on I'm kind of counting on a safety car, like hoping that a safety car is going to happen. As we are looking to get into a stable rhythm here, this track is not too flowy, but a lot of heavy braking zones. But I'm just looking to get into a groove after that lap one stressful moments. I got out alive. Now I'm just looking to cruise as Max retains his top spot, already 2.8 seconds ahead of me in the lead. George Russell already fell out of the DRS, dancing around the DRS, now 7 tenths, 6 tenths behind. So last time out in Japan, we managed to finish P6, I believe. Got some good points. P5 as Franco Colapinto scores some good points and is now P5 in the Drivers' Championship, I think, behind Oscar Piastri, ahead of both Ferraris and Charles Leclerc. Very good drive as we managed to kind of handle things well in Japan. We had that weird collision with Yuki, which was entirely his fault, I believe. He just ran into the side of me. It's just the AI is very very aggressive, and they have a lot of, they really like to wobble left and right. It's like very weird. As Russell gets us on the straight, we decide not to fight him too much. I'm just trying to stay in the DRS because I'm already running a bit low on the battery. So just looking to save some battery now as behind us. New teammates in McLaren are battling each other. Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc, which helps us retain that third spot as we run as we run wide. Totally miss the braking zone. Sometimes it happens to me. Like I focus too much on like on the standings, on the times, on the sectors, on everything. I focus too much on the MFD or something else, so I just keep looking behind constantly and looking at the times, and then I just forget to brake, and then I just go straight on and run wide. I mean, problems start to happen when I start to overthink stuff. Yeah, that's an area when I really need to work on alongside my racecraft. But yeah, I made a lot of progress. We managed to recharge a bit of ERS now, and we lost the DRS to George Russell, but those Mercedes are flying. They are absolutely rapid. They are by far the best car on the grid.
11.5 seconds.
Wild speed. Around this circuit I haven't been particularly quick. I'm not really quick around here, but I am decent-ish. I mean, I'm just hoping to finish the race like just consistent driving as we get our first warning for corner cutting, as we try to get inside 1 second mark of George Russell to get that DRS as we head into turn 10. Very tricky corner when you have to like turn and brake at the same time, and you're just constantly testing the limit of the grip, and then your front wheels lock up and then you have to ease off the brakes, this and that. Like the front left tire is very much under duress here around the circuit. Yeah, next race I believe is Saudi Arabia, which is a difficult track for me. Of course, it's a street circuit, very low margin for error. I will have to practice the circuit before I jump into that's how I do it. I'm currently in my process of learning the circuits to drive them without any kind of assist. So the last assist that I turned off is the racing line, and I turned off the racing line. I have to just practice, get some laps in at every circuit before getting consistent, of course, and to get my braking markers right, and to just familiarize myself with the track layouts further. It's very fun. I do hope to get quick, but around here in Bahrain, I'm afraid that's not the case. Here I am far from a master of this track. It's fairly difficult for me to drive around here since I didn't have that much practice. I'm just able to keep it on the I'm having trouble at this point just to keep it between the white lines, and it's lap 5. The AI difficulty I believe is a 90, so that nothing impressive, but it's not rookie mode either. So I believe, I mean, I am still a beginner. I'm making big mistakes now. Wow. But I'm not like super bad, but I'm not super good either. I'm just, I believe, somewhere in between. The biggest thing that I lack is consistency. But I'm learning the circuits. I'll get there. Recently I was driving. Wow, that is a big corner cutting. I don't know how I didn't get a warning there. Very very wild stuff, very inconsistent driving, as I said, one of my biggest issues. Russell already got away. There's no hope of catching him or Max. I'm just trying to keep Leclerc behind at this point. Who is on soft tires. His tires should start dying in about 2 laps, I believe. He can drive maybe for 2 more laps before they start like losing a lot of grip, so I have to survive for a bit. Norris is on mediums. Very interesting tire choice. He'll probably go medium hard, or maybe stay out and do medium soft. Mercedes is very good now on tire way. Yeah, as this championship is going, it's going much better than last season. Last season we were starting out with nothing, just fighting our way through the pack. Now I believe I recorded this race like maybe 2 weeks ago. So I believe over here, as Norris and Leclerc both overtake us, and we do an audacious move on the inside, dirty move, not very good, and we play bumper cars, but I managed to stay on the road. That may have been my fault for dive bombing there. I had no business sticking a nose inside that turn number 1. I got what I deserved. And now Oscar Piastri overtaken me as well. Now I'm in P6. As the battle ahead rages on between the 2 teammates in McLaren Piastri, and ahead of them Lando Norris. Very interesting as we try to stay in the DRS again of Oscar Piastri, as we managed to recharge a lot of the battery, and we have good tires on. We are trying to push as much as we can at this point, but these cars are quicker than our car now, I believe. McLaren and Mercedes is the best car on the grid, but by far the best car, and McLaren is a great deal better than ours. So as Piastri thinks about it on the inside in the final corner but doesn't go for it. Now we are in the DRS, we have the battery, we are going to try and overtake a McLaren as we go with Oscar Piastri overtake his teammate Charles Leclerc, and again we dive to the inside, no contact. We make sure to leave the space on the inside this time into turn 2, and we get the move done on Oscar Piastri. We are in P4, and as I said, I lost focus. I was just focusing on the driver behind, and I just went straight on, went on wide. Very much a rookie mistake, as we completely miss apex. Now I completely lost my focus at this point. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back into it. And these McLarens are fairly slow now. Their tires are starting to die. They will have to box very soon, in like 2 laps time, I believe, or even this lap, around this circuit in this game. I think tire wear in this game is much harsher than in the previous games, and now you can't survive too much on the softs. Rarely ever are they used in race trims. They work only on specific circuits. As both McLarens stay out for another lap. Now we have the DRS on the start-finish straight, trying to conserve some energy, and as both McLarens go side by side, turn 1, turn 2, and Leclerc gets in front as Yuki Tsunoda tries a move, and we wildly brake again into the apex, barely staying out of a collision with Oscar Piastri. Very, very dangerous driving from my side. Very dangerous driving. I will have to definitely work on just timing my my overtakes. I just tried to fight, probably. I just tried to fight Yuki here, and I almost collided with Piastri, but I got there without having any damage. But very wobbly, very insecure, very inconsistent driving overall. But we are still between the white lines. We don't have any damage. We ran wide a few times, quite a few times. It's a miracle that I'm still in P6, to be honest. We managed to save up some battery throughout the lap because we had DRS. Leclerc is already out of the DRS of his teammate, I believe, or dancing around it. Charles Leclerc finally diving into the pits. Piastri is going to stay out for another lap as he covers off the inside line as we sail past Piastri with the DRS on the outside. Nicely brake into turn 1. A little bit wide, but that's okay, considering how I've been driving this race. Lap 10, exactly halfway through the race. P3. Mercedes 1-2 by far the quickest. Russell like 12 seconds ahead of everyone else. Very, very dominant display. At the moment I'm just trying to hold on. It's still very early for me to pit, of course. I will try to stay out for a few more laps, maybe hope for a safety car so we can pit and not lose that much time. We already got away from Oscar Piastri, whose tires are basically gone at this point. Not gone, but fairly worn. He doesn't have much grip, he's not having much fun. But I have more grip than Piastri, and I always somehow manage to run wide. As I said, not my strongest circuit. But I'm also learning how to do a commentary on a on a video. So yeah, it may sound a bit clumsy, but yeah, I'm gonna get there as well. As my engineer suggests that I box this lap, and my teammate is in the pits, so this is the lap for basically every single soft runner is going to box. Now I'm so slow that my tires are cold, so my rears are maybe overheating a little bit. My front left is, wow, as I run wide. I was just looking probably at the I also ran wide. I got the warning. That's my second warning. I ran wide again because I was looking at my MFD. Just very I'm having a very difficult time staying on the track here. Very difficult time. Yeah, front left is very worn. The rear's fairly worn as well, but then I can do quite a few more laps as I make some major mistakes here on this supposed in lap. Very inconsistent drive, and now started to overthink. Started to look at the times. I started to do everything. I'm just not in my groove. I'm not in my groove. I'm not having a good time at the moment as I cut the corner again. Yeah, and we dive into the pit lane. Just make sure that I slow the car down so we don't get a penalty. And now we will just focus on having a good stop, and we will finish this race, yes, on the medium tires. Very good stop.
That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
As we get out
Now, let's get some heat into those
of the pit lane. Don't cut the wall, cross the white line, and into turn number 1, we managed to stay ahead of Yuki Tsunoda side by side into turn 2, and we managed to stay ahead. Very risky driving from my side as we go wide into. Yeah, it's always that same corner where I just happen to run wide. I always miss my braking point because I look on the times. Oh, there I usually brake around 100-meter mark and downshift into the 3rd gear usually. As Liam Lawson is out of the session. I'm waiting to see if there's going to be some kind of a safety car, which wouldn't be very fortunate for us since we just made our pit stop. He's at before turn number 2, maybe some kind of an engine failure. But right now I'm just driving the hell out of these times. I'm really pushing, trying to get into Maloney's DRS, and we managed to do so. He dives in the pit lane, free DRS, thank you very much, and we stay ahead, and we managed to undercut Mr. Lewis Hamilton, which is absolutely huge for us in this race, since they are our direct rivals. And Yuki is a bit quicker here, and we try to fight Yuki into this corner that I always run out. But this time I kept it between the white lines, managed to stay ahead of Yuki, and now I just have to defend because I felt like, yes, of course. Sorry about that. Yes, of course. You always try to let the much quicker cars go, but Yuki is not that much quicker than me. He's not quicker. I'm just making a lot of these mistakes that cost me lap time, and then he really gets close. I get a bad exit before a straight, and then he gets me on the straight, and of course he has the DRS, and considering he has all of those advantages, he's not that quick. So Hamilton overtook Yuki Tsunoda. Hamilton pitted onto the softs, so it'll be very difficult. So 1.2 seconds ahead, actually battling with Yuki now. Yuki on hards, Hamilton on softs, going back and forth, which benefits us. But if Hamilton is able to stay ahead, we are going to have a very difficult time staying ahead of Lewis, at least for 5 laps, since his tires are better than mine at this point. But Yuki is ahead on hards, so that is good. The top two, they just went away. They are in a race of their own. Norris is pitted on softs. Russell is on mediums comfortably. Up there, Max is actually in front of them by a mile. Wow, Max is comfortably winning this race by quite a lot, but the top 3 are just unreachable at this point. 6 more laps. Lando is 14 seconds ahead of me, 16 seconds ahead of me, I believe. Just uncatchable. I will have to be much better if I'm going to compete with the likes of Mercedes and Max Verstappen, as I'm ahead of 1 Red Bull, which is a good achievement. But the most important thing is that I'm ahead of the Ferraris, as Hamilton and Tsunoda are still going at it. 5 more laps to go, as we are just trying to bring this home into in the inside these closing sectors of the closing stages. Excuse me, closing stages of the race. I'm just trying to keep it between the white lines and just try to bring it home. I will probably, if I am ahead of Hamilton at lap 18, I will probably stay ahead. Just some consistent laps now and should be good. If he gets into the DRS, then I'm going to be in a whole lot of trouble. But if I manage to keep him out of DRS, I am fine. Especially at that start-finish straight, DRS is absolutely huge. As two McLarens fell behind after the pit stop, as George Russell says, the quickest lap of the race on medium tires, which is very interesting. McLarens are behind Yuki, 7 and 8. They fell behind. They probably had a slow stop or something. They were doing really well in the first stint of the race, but now they are not very not having a good time. Neither of them. They're actually fighting each other as they are doing now. Yeah, the top three keep widening that gap. I'm far from winning a race as it is, but I was very good in qualifying. I'm usually much better over one lap than I am over a race. Much better in qualifying, as we have the safety car. All right, very interesting. Safety car, 4 more laps to go. So we had a choice here. Do we box for softs or we stay out for 4 more laps? As I was checking the tire wear, the 12% wear on the tires, and I was thinking here, I don't think it is worth it to box now, and you'll have to overtake a whole lot of other cars in 4 laps time, which would be very interesting and very stressful. But now I'm P4 and I'm very satisfied with the track position, so I have decided to actually stay out, because there is a safety car is going to last for at least 1 more lap, 2 more laps, so probably like 2 laps of racing until the end, and I'm not going to overtake everyone and get back to P4 inside 2 laps. So yeah, now just staying out and keeping track position. Nobody boxed, actually everybody stayed out. So yeah, that is definitely the way to go. I think that was kind of a no-brainer, but I was just trying to make sure that I did the right thing. Just I always like to not to rely on AI for strategy, because AI can be really dumb sometimes. That's how we won our first race. That's how we won our first race last year, actually, with a very bad car. We were racing in Monza, and of course it was a one-stop race. 35% races for now. Until I get comfortable, then I'm gonna extend it to 50%. I already actually extended it to 50% in my driver career, which I only just started. And over here I was really thinking still about diving inside, but no. Yes, and we won in Monza with a really bad car, because we stayed out. So before the race, it was rain forecast in the last fifth of the race, so that would be like the rain would fall eventually, and everybody did their stop. Everybody started on mediums, and they they stop on lap 11, and there was like 20 laps inside the race, and they boxed, and I stayed out on hards. Everybody boxed, and I was like miles ahead, and I was waiting for the rain, and rain like was started to fall like 6 or 7 laps before the end. I boxed, everybody headed to the box again, and then I just won by like 10 seconds ahead of everyone, just because I refused to do that first pit stop just like everyone. So always, what I learned in this game, always like think for yourself about the tires, about the strategy, because AI is not always correct, and when they are wrong, they are very, very wrong. So as we are waiting for the safety car restart, as we are going to try and get some spots. We have another shot of overtaking Norris and getting into that, getting to the podium. This is going to be very, very exciting final 2 laps of the race as we get ready for the restart. We are on the back straight. Max is controlling the tempo. He will probably run it out full throttle out of the last corner as we are alongside Lando Norris. As we step pedal to the metal, and we get the jump on the Lando Norris, and we didn't manage to get him before. We managed to get him before the start finish line, and we had to give the position back. But again, audacious dive bomb, locking up, making contact with George Russell. Very, very bad racing from my part. I do not wish to be this kind of a racer, so
Watch the aggression, please. We don't want to lose plenty.
yes, not really my proudest moment. We got ahead of Lando Norris cleanly, but we made a collision with George Russell, and we are in the podium now, and ahead of turn 10, penultimate lap of the race. We are trying to make up some time to George Russell and Max. It is a good, very, very entertaining final 2 laps of the race, as we are trying to keep Lando Norris behind, who is in a much quicker car. Now I'm trying to save up some battery for that final lap, so we can give it all. But now I'm not really catching George Russell, but we are in the DRS. Anything can happen on that start finish straight, but in a straight line this Mercedes is just flying. Very, very fast car on the final. As we start the final lap of the race, Lando Norris make him pick. He picks the outside, and we just try to outbrake him into the turn 1 side by side. He's ahead, and again I didn't really leave enough space for Lando to be on the circuit. Not good racing from my part. Again, very bad race, very bad race in general. For me, I didn't really deserve to be here on the podium or even have a good result. Not really fair play from me. And as we go into turn 10 on the final lap of the race, as we have a big wobble, loss of traction, again we try to rejoin, and we end up in the wall without the front wing at the final lap of the race. Very disappointing final lap of the race. We end up in the wall, and we end up at the back, as we are going to limp to the finish line without the front wing. No points, no nothing. Close, but no cigar. But those are the racing gods that just said no because of my driving this entire race. I wasn't really the cleanest driver this race, and I got probably what I deserved. To be honest, wasn't really consistent, was running out wide the entire time. It was just a matter of moment when it was about to happen. Yeah, but in the end, very, very gutting, very, very disappointing. I was P3, and on the final lap, I drop it all and end up out of the points. And Ferrari are going to definitely catch up now.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yeah, just I don't know actually what happened over there, but I just lost my rear end. And I should have kind of slowed down a bit, regain traction, but I panicked and I tried to get on the throttle before gaining back the grip, and then I just spun into the wall. Very like rookie mistake, probably some dirty air. Dirty air is mean in this game, and I probably caught some dirty air or something. It was very, very strange how I lost all of the traction out of that corner, and maybe I jumped on the throttle a bit too soon, and then when I was, yeah, just rookie mistakes, but I didn't deserve to be on the podium in this race, to be honest. I did fight everyone, but I did few of those overtakes were very audacious, very, very wild. I was constantly making mistakes, running wide, and yeah, I mean, it's okay, you live, you learn, trial and error. Finishing last from P3, like from hero to zero, it's okay. I'm going to give it my best next time in Saudi Arabia, although I do not expect much since it's a very difficult circuit for me. Max wins the race, fully deserved, and George Russell is in P2 with the fastest lap, and Lewis Hamilton manages to finish in that third place, and our teammate is in the points, so we have 1 point from this weekend, and Ferrari have a lot more. So yeah, they're probably overtaken us. They were 12 points behind in the standings. Now they are ahead. So yeah, solid race. Learned a lot. Will work on being a more consistent driver. Will work on my pace. Probably every single aspect of my prowess as a driver. I will work on my racecraft and everything, but look at this. I was just messing around with the replay. That was really, really audacious. There was probably track limits, but really audacious moves into that turn one especially. But yeah, you live, you learn. So absolutely disappointing, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time in Saudi Arabia. Bye bye.